In the second, 1-0 Rays. Very next batter, Isaac Paredes. Back-to-back jacks. Wells gave up 4 runs in the second, but none after that. Rays up 4-0. In the third, Ramon Urias getting the Birds on the board. Solo shot his third of the season. Orioles down 3 runs, but it got worse from the 7th on. Rays split the series 7-2 final. Cedric Mullins out since late May with a groin injury, and Ryan Mountcastle out this month with vertigo. Will be back at some point soon. Mullins and Mountcastle are beginning their rehab assignments together in AAA. Originally slated to start yesterday on the road with the Tides, has to wait for tonight due to weather. A mix of veteran leadership with 14 players making their World Cup debut for Team USA. The women's national team roster of 23 was released today for the tournament in Australia and New Zealand that starts late July. 38 next month. Alyssa Thompson makes her debut. She's only 18. Team USA is going for the World Cup three-peat, which would be a very first. The U.S. has Portugal, Vietnam, and the Netherlands in group play that starts July 20th.
Our next weather maker is here, and it's bringing the first day of rain over several days that we'll have. As we head into the weekend, we're looking at 81 on Friday, then the mid-80s on Saturday, and after that, temperatures will be in the upper 80s on Sunday for the hottest day of the weekend. Unfortunately, we'll have the daily chance for showers and storms throughout the weekend, and those rain chances will continue into next week as we deal with several weather makers. I'll let you know the timing of the rain tonight and tomorrow and how much we could see in my full forecast in about 20 minutes. Back to you.
Coming up on Fox 45 News at 6, a local nonprofit hired to pick up trash across Baltimore sees their contract slashed. Why that partnership was canceled. And former special counsel John Durham testifies on Capitol Hill why he says the FBI failed to do its job in a Trump probe. Contracts renewed for a Safe Streets operator that was expected to be replaced. Fox 45 presses the mayor on why his changes are being delayed again. Hundreds of thousands of COVID relief dollars gone missing. The red flags being raised over the city's Clean Core program. Our latest weather maker bringing much needed rain across the state. Meteorologist Jasmine Lomax will have the latest on what you can expect from the system in just a few minutes.
Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 News at 6.
Well, tonight, the City Spending Board approves a contract extension for a community nonprofit managing a Safe Streets site. The issue is the nonprofit was supposed to be done working with Safe Streets nearly 6 months ago. Good evening, everybody. I'm Mary Bubala. Fox 45's Mackenzie Frost pressed the mayor for more answers on safe streets, and she has the very latest.
So this contract extension was between the city and Park Heights Renaissance to manage the Park Heights Safe Streets location. It's the second time this contract has been extended. And as our investigation continues, we're also finding out that some of the Safe Streets sites may also be moving. The contract with Park Heights Renaissance was set to conclude at the end of 2022. But now it says the nonprofit will wrap up Safe Streets work by August 30th, 2023, almost 1 year after Mayor Bennett Scott first announced the management of the 10 Safe Streets locations would be shifting away from the patchwork of community-based organizations.
It's about evolving.
Instead of several nonprofits overseeing the program, aiming to reduce homicides and non-fatal shootings in small zones dotted around Baltimore, management would be done by LifeBridge and Catholic Charities.
At this time, I'll entertain a motion to proceed on the routine agenda.
After the contract extension was approved by the Board of Estimates Wednesday morning,
The ayes have it. The routine agenda has now been adopted.
Mayor Bennett Scott not offering much insight.
This was all supposed to be wrapped up by January. What's going on?
Well, listen, we still have stuff going on. There's a process that you have to go through. We know that Park Heights Renaissance and the city has a great relationship. You don't hear them complaining. The Safe Streets workers are still out there getting paid, doing the great work in Park Heights, and that work will continue until we're able to get the other stuff handled.
What other stuff needs to be handled and what's taking so long?
All the stuff that we're talking about is things that are privileged information right now, Mackenzie.
Does it have anything to do with payments or,
Everyone's being paid.
But the language from the spending board's agenda says the extension is necessary to process the final invoices for all remaining funds due. The contract extension isn't the only red flag being raised now about Safe Streets. New Fox 45 News drone video shows the Cherry Hill location, the trailer, no longer in the parking lot it once sat. That same trailer we've been to numerous times. And the Penn North Safe Streets location, once inside this building, now located around the corner, seen here in a new branded site. These changes do not match with the city's own community violence intervention map, showing the boundaries of the Safe Street zones and where the sites are located. So we followed up with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement, asking what's taking so long for the management switch to be completed? When did these locations move? Where is the Cherry Hill Safe Streets site? When will the correct information be listed online? And how is the community and the public supposed to know where the locations are if the information online isn't accurate? The latest round of questions come as a city agency implementing Safe Streets will soon have a new leader. Those questions we sent were never answered. Meanwhile, Monzi Director Shantae Jackson is set to leave her position inside City Hall next Friday, and it's unclear who will take her place. In the newsroom, Mackenzie Frost, Fox 45 News.
Well, the city's summer crime plan was a big topic of discussion during a public safety hearing this afternoon. We're told each police district has a plan for the summer by analyzing 5 years of summer crime data. The department looked at patterns and trends that help them come up with a deployment strategy. Police districts will have access to resources such as action teams and canine units. The budget includes more money for City Watch and home security cameras that Acting Police Commissioner Richard Worley says will be useful. The acting commissioner also touting a grant the department received from the state that will help fund overtime pay for officers.
We're not getting 100 officers anytime soon. I think the next class has only got 20 or 22 in it. So we've got to do with what we have and ask our federal partners. But a lot of the other things that have been done, like the curfew initiative, the squeegee initiatives, the work with the homeless, the padlock initiative.
The curfew and squeegee initiatives are two ways the city is working to address issues surrounding juveniles. So far this year, there have been 11 young people have been killed and 200 young people have been arrested, half of those for adult charges, some even accused of murder. Well, don't miss our next Your Voice, Your Future town hall. Tomorrow night at 7, Armstrong Williams sits down with former Mayor Sheila Dixon to talk about the state of Baltimore City and ways to make things better. That is live tomorrow night at 7 on foxbaltimore.com. You can also watch it on Fox 45 this Saturday at 6 and on the CW Baltimore Saturday at 3 and My TV Sunday at 1. Our next weather maker has arrived. It's all cloudy skies and rain across Maryland today. This is a live look at conditions in Baltimore, Towson, and on our weather radar, which is all green there. Meteorologist Jasmine Lomax is here with more on these storms. Jasmine.
Thanks, Mary. We are keeping close watch on the radar as we continue to track showers moving across the state. Most of the rain is on the lighter side, but we'll have more rain on the way, and at times there could be areas of heavy rain. Right now, we're keeping track of a low pressure system. Around that, we've got rain that's impacting the region, and this rain will continue to impact us tonight and even tomorrow. So get ready for a couple of rainy days as we move forward. We're talking the low 70s tomorrow for another cool and gray and cloudy day. Once again, breezy at times. Then as we head into Friday, our temperatures return to the 80s, but we are looking at our next round of storms on the way. Not the best start to the weekend, and unfortunately, the rain does continue on Saturday. We're talking more rain and storms, but you will notice higher temperatures throughout the weekend and into early next week. I'll let you know the timing of the rain and how much we could see in my Weather Authority forecast. Back to you.
When there's a situation where money has been possibly stolen or misused, there should be a full investigation and a full explanation.
A community activist group demanding answers from the city tonight after hundreds of thousands of COVID relief dollars go missing. The money was allocated under the mayor's Clean Core program to a local nonprofit hired to help pick up trash across the city. But as Fox 45's Rebecca Pryor reports, now the city is trashing their contract.
That's right. Fox 45 has obtained documents revealing that the nonprofit's partnership with the city has been canceled due to misspent federal funding, a waste of public dollars. Desmond Stinney says the city could have and should have prevented.
This is exactly the scenario we were trying to avoid.
For Desmond Stinney, the man behind Concerned Citizens of Baltimore, a grassroots group suing the city over rolled back recycling services, from the beginning, the mayor's Clean Core initiative didn't pass the smell test.
It was just so duplicative of what we were supposed to be already getting from DPW.
Designed to offset the heavy workloads of an understaffed Department of Public Works, Mayor Scott's Clean Core program allocated $15 million COVID relief dollars to 6 nonprofits hired to help clean up underserved communities. A substantial cost Stinney believed warranted further investigating.
We researched many of the nonprofits, and the things that we're finding out are completely shocking.
And Lazarus Wright in particular had some serious red flags for you.
Very serious red flags.
Lazarus Wright, a nonprofit that assists ex-offenders with reentry, was one of the Clean Core awardees, or at least they were. At the start of this year, the city signed the nonprofit to a 2-year, $1.6 million contract. But in just 4 months, a fourth of the funding gone. According to documents obtained by Fox 45, by May, that contract was null and void. The city citing a misuse of funds, potentially totaling up to $267,000.
It's just disappointing.
But Stinney says not surprising. The referenced red flags found in a simple case search, revealing the owner of Lazarus Wright, Christopher Irvin, facing significant financial hardship. The city filing foreclosure on Irvin's home last July, and 4 months later, Irvin declaring bankruptcy.
And we certainly made our concerns, known as we realized that the Lazarus Wright was set to receive money.
Concerns, Stinney says, the mayor's office and the city's law department ignored.
We didn't get any direct response back from the administration. All that we got was notice that the award was actually given.
In March, Fox 45 interviewed Irvin on his nonprofit's cleanup efforts as his crews swept away waste.
We're trying to get Baltimore to a better place.
Just weeks before Irvin's contract was completely swept. And now our attempts to reach him for comment met with an out-of-office email.
Hi, you reached the phone for Christopher Irvin.
And unanswered calls.
Sorry, mailbox is full.
Now, in that termination letter, the city says that Lazarus Wright will have to pay back any of those misused funds. We asked the city today for the exact dollar amount, and we also asked them if they think that this nonprofit was properly vetted before being handed over a lump sum of more than $400,000. But as of News Time tonight, those questions going ignored. Reporting in Baltimore City, Rebecca Pryor, Fox 45 News.
It's been nearly a week since Governor Westmore vowed to revive the Red Line in Baltimore, and now Fox 45 is questioning how tax dollars will be used on this massive transportation project. When former Maryland Governor Larry Hogan canceled the Red Line project back in 2015, it had an estimated price tag of $2.9 billion. That number now does not account for current inflation or the soaring cost of materials and labor. Here is how Governor Moore responded when asked about the price tag last week.
We're still in the process of coming up with the final plan, so we don't know what the final cost is going to be, but we do know that this cost will be in the billions of dollars.
The governor also says he expects the project to be on time and on budget. Fox 45 spoke with the president of the Taxpayers Protection Alliance, who says with a project like this, it's most likely going to be behind schedule and over budget.
It is a race against the clock to find a missing passenger sub, the sign of hope officials revealing in their search and rescue mission coming up.
I'm Christine Frizzau on Capitol Hill, where we heard from former special counsel John Durham, what he says about his findings in his 4-year investigation. Coming up.
A surveillance vessel has detected more noises in the area where rescuers are searching for a submersible that went missing during a trip to the Titanic wreckage. Coast Guard officials say they're bringing in more ships and vessels to search that area, but the exact location and source of the sounds has not yet been determined. They are also saying there's less than a day's worth of oxygen left inside that vessel. So far, officials have searched an area about the size of Connecticut. During a press conference earlier today, the Coast Guard emphasized that this is still a search and rescue mission, not yet a recovery mission.
Oh, this is a search and rescue mission, 100%. We are smack dab in the middle of search and rescue, and we'll continue to put every available asset that we have in an effort to find the Titan and the crew members.
The submersible went missing on Sunday after losing contact with its support ship while making its descent to see the Titanic wreckage. 5 people are on board. Well, former special counsel John Durham appeared on Capitol Hill today addressing possible FBI shortcomings while investigating ties between Russia and the Trump campaign in 2016. National correspondent Christine Frizzau shares his testimony.
Mary, this was a several-hour hearing here on Capitol Hill, and as expected, it was framed in two very different lights. John Durham's findings characterized by Democrats as a nothing burger and by Republicans as explosive.
Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that
on how he'd characterize his 4-year investigation into how and why Crossfire Hurricane started in the first place, former special counsel John Durham said this.
Our findings were sobering.
Those findings include that the FBI ignored significant exculpatory information and failed to pursue leads that were inconsistent with their initial theory and relied on an unvetted dossier authored by Christopher Steele to get a FISA warrant to spy on Trump campaign advisor Carter Page, knowing the findings were paid for in part by the Hillary Clinton campaign.
There is not a single substantive piece of information in the dossier that has ever been corroborated.
On Capitol Hill, warnings from Republicans that politics could also be at play with the current Trump indictment, dealing with his handling of classified documents.
now we have an indictment of a former president who's winning in every single poll by his opponent's Justice Department.
Democrats accusing Durham himself of excluding information in his report, like a Trump Tower meeting between Russian officials and Donald Trump's son, son-in-law, and then campaign advisor, and of ultimately not recommending any wholesale changes in FBI policy.
You got no convictions, you got nothing. It was all set up to hurt the Mueller report, which was correct and was redacted, to hurt the Bidens, and to help Trump.
You only filed 3 criminal cases. You only brought 2 cases to trial, correct?
Correct.
And you lost all the cases you brought to trial, correct?
Correct.
While we likely won't hear from John Durham again about this report, we do expect House Republicans to continue to use it as an example of what they call a 2-tiered system of justice. Durham, by the way, was appointed by Trump's former Attorney General Bill Barr, who says even if half of the charges in the classified document indictment are true, quote, he's toast.
Right now, you're taking a look over Baltimore and over Towson, where we're dealing with rain. And you can see all of the green on the HD radar as we deal with our latest weather maker. This will impact our plans tomorrow and even into the weekend. We're expecting more rain. Right now, we're keeping track of showers across the state. The rain is on the light to moderate side, and we'll have more rain tonight and tomorrow. At times, some of the rain could be heavy. We're keeping track of rain not just here, but around the region. We've got a low-pressure system around the Carolinas that's leading to some of that rain, and that low-pressure system will gradually lift to the north a little later this week. Looking outside, it is very gray and gloomy. You can't see too much. Visibility is reduced, so make sure that you are driving safely if you have to head anywhere this evening or tonight. 63 for the current temperature, and it is very breezy with winds out of the east-northeast. We've got temperatures mainly in the 60s around the state. For many of us, our temperatures this afternoon were close to 20 degrees below average for this time of year. We'll drop to the 50s and the 60s overnight. Notice we do have more rain on the way, and this will continue off and on overnight and into the morning tomorrow. Be sure to add some extra time to your commute in the morning and later into the day to account for the rain. As we head into the second half of the day, we have the potential for areas of heavy rain. This continues throughout the night and then into Friday. After that, we've got rain over the weekend and into next week, at least through the middle of the week. So there is the daily chance for showers over the next 7 days. You may need the umbrellas. We're talking up to 4 inches of rain, and this would be beneficial. Much of Maryland is under a moderate drought, so all of the rain will help to improve some of those conditions. We're also keeping watch on Tropical Storm Brett, which is expected to strengthen as it approaches the Lesser Antilles. Then it moves into the Caribbean and it starts to weaken. Temperatures tonight will fall to 60. Pretty mild for this time of year, but we've got more rain on the way. We could have wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. This is followed by another gray and gloomy day tomorrow with high temperatures only reaching the low to mid 70s. We'll have more showers on the way, and at times there could be areas of heavy rain. We're looking at gusty winds with gusts up to 25 miles per hour, and the rain continues over the weekend and into next week. I'll let you know what you can expect for our temperatures coming up in the exclusive 10-day forecast.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
Storms across the south continue to threaten, including this big lightning bolt off Florida's panhandle. Overnight, June snowfall coats a mountain pass in western Montana. The Milky Way put on a sky show in Arizona, lighting up the sky with countless stars south of Phoenix. And a purple sunrise welcomed the day over Pennsylvania's state capital in Harrisburg.
For more content like this, follow the National Weather Desk on Twitter.
And still ahead, service dogs are a game changer for so many Americans. But why a rise in fake service dogs has some worried about abusing their privileges. Believe it or not, fake service dogs are becoming more common, and now one state is trying to tighten the leash. Jordan Elder from our Sinclair sister station in San Antonio explains.
Service dogs train for hundreds and hundreds of hours in places like this to be able to help their owners. Advocates say this new law will be especially helpful to make sure they can do that safely.
She has brought my daughter back to life.
Service dog Maisie has been helping Angelina Loaiza's daughter for 3 years now. She deals with PTSD and severe anxiety.
Once she got her dog, it was able to give her more confidence in order to go out into public.
She says they've seen several instances where an animal may have a service dog vest, but doesn't have service dog behavior. Starting in September, if you try to pass a pet off as a service dog in Texas, you could be charged with a misdemeanor, face up to a $1,000 fine, and 30 hours of community service.
Misrepresentation causes access issues for people with disabilities all the time.
Andrea Tupin trains service dogs here in San Antonio, helping people with psychiatric, mobility, and diabetic alert needs.
A service dog is an animal that has been specifically trained to do tasks for an owner with disabilities.
Whereas an emotional support animal is there for comfort. She says the stronger penalty will be helpful for the San Antonio community because many of our veterans use service animals.
Your service dog is your access to the world.
Sherry Soltis with Service Dogs Incorporated has been a longtime advocate for this.
When that dog is injured or traumatized, you lose your equal access to public spaces, which is the point of